risk is higher in the first degree, but higher in the second degree and third degree relatives as well. So, the initial test should be done whenever there's an index person who's been diagnosed with celiac disease. But many a times people feel like, okay, I've been tested once, I can never have celiac disease. But we all know that people get diagnosed in their 40s, people get diagnosed when they're 2 years old. So if you're genetically susceptible, a trigger can just start the whole autoimmune cascade and actually develop the disease. So the recommendation is, and they're loose sort of recommendations, but what we recommend at the Celiac Center is that every child who is tested negative in a family needs to be tested every year, at least till their puberty. And the reason we say puberty is because we know that it does affect growth. So at least for every year till puberty, they should have a celiac panel done. And then after that, it can be every couple years. Remembering though that many families decide to go gluten-free, total household goes gluten-free. So you have to remember that if you are gluten-free, doing the testing is not going to help. So there are children who will be gluten-free at home and then have lunch at school that has gluten in it. So we usually will recommend that before the yearly test for a few months, they need to have more gluten in their diet. So then they get tested. So there shouldn't be a falseness to that celiac panel. So need to be eating enough gluten, repeat the panel every year for the children and every couple years for the adults. Now usually I tell adults it's easy enough. You get a cholesterol done, add a celiac panel to that. Then you don't have to remember, is this the year I was supposed to do on a celiac panel? There are a lot of statistics there to tell us that if we can diagnose early enough, and I think I must say this 1,000 times, but if you get diagnosed after you're 10 years of age, the chances that you have another autoimmune disease are almost 25%. So not only should you be screened, but the children should be screened in the families and screened early, not waiting for symptoms to happen. We know that there are other associated autoimmune diseases. Thyroid is probably the most common thing. And people might just say it's easy enough, I'll take a thyroid pill, but then that can progress on to do many other worse things in the future. So